Yes, people, and welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. I'm your host, the Mr. Bruce 258, here to review you today the preview for Chelsea versus Man City, 5:30 p.m. at the Etihad Stadium. Here we go. As always, I'll start with the opposition team, and in this case, that will be Manchester City. So, obviously, as you guys know, recently Man City obviously won against Copenhagen. They are currently just 1 point behind. They're just behind Manchester Liverpool. With a game in hand. If they win that game in hand, they are basically top of the league. So, at the end of the day, they're pretty much top of the league, I would say, because this Man City, sadly, you know what's going to happen. They're going to win the league, whether we like to admit or not. That's just my prediction. That's just my opinion, of course, too. But moving on from that school of thought, we obviously know about Manchester City. Great team, obviously under Pep Guardiola. You know the style of football they play. That sort of moving the ball fast. They've now added the new aspect of like even doing the 1v1 demon aspect now. With Doku obviously now playing for them, they rather than the winger moves around, turns, pass. Keeping the width, like the wingers usually keep the width for them. They obviously have Haaland, De Bruyne, who have that connection whenever they need to do it. But they've got obviously the centre backs almost act like as controllers as well, passing the ball, controlling possession of them. So at the end of the day, we know with Man City, you're gonna have a heavily possession-based team. They can go on and attack. They can be very deadly. You've got like arguably the best striker in the world right now in Haaland, and you've got one of the best creators to ever play the game in KDB2. He's able to create for him. You've got guys like Doku who can dribble really fast and are able to really be 1v1 demons, in my opinion. As you guys know, Bernardo Silva can help to control the ball, and he's got a shot on him. Phil Foden is in the form of his life currently, really improving. He can score, he can assist. Got a great connection of Haaland and De Bruyne too. So there's another guy that you have to really watch out for and look out for as well. And a lot of the time these guys can play positionless. And let me not forget about Rodri. Of course, Rodri, but the best CDM currently in the world, in my personal opinion. Quality player, can control in midfield, can score late winners for you, has that ability in the locker room for him as well. So listen, man, we're facing a very strong, capable team, and to be able to handle what they need to handle. And obviously, they won their previous game, which was in the UCL on Tuesday against Copenhagen 3-1. So after that, the other side team, Manchester United, was not able to do so. You know what I mean? Clearly beating their rivals on that one still, but we move. But yeah, so obviously they've been able to do that. They've been able to score. They've been able to assist, get up the league table, pretty much already first in the league in my personal opinion. Looking like they're gonna win the league. Obviously, they're going to be facing us. Now, in terms of who's going to face us, obviously, Jack Grealish is injured, and so is Josko Gvardiol as well. So, those two are definitely not going to be playing for sure. And apparently, Bernardo Silva's been assisted today, according to Pep Guardiola in his press conference. Now, the team will face us is probably going to be similar to what they faced last time. That will be obviously Ederson in goal, Ake and Walker are your two fullbacks, and then you have Ruben Diaz and John Stones. You would then obviously have the two. I think Bernardo Silva will probably be fit enough to start. Even if he doesn't start, they've still got Kovacic back now, so I probably would assume it would be Rodri Kovacic in the midfield. Obviously, with no Grealish, that means Doku will probably have to come into the fray. So probably Doku, KDB, and Foden, and then you have Haaland in attack. So that's probably the team that most likely Chelsea are going to face, and it's quite similar to the team that we faced at home in our previous meeting. So again, obviously barring Gvardiol, who was playing, and I believe at the time Bernardo Silva wasn't playing against us either. So again, that's probably we're facing a very similar team, and we know how they play. Now moving on to our side, the Chelsea side, I'll be real with you. Obviously, we know that Sanchez is now back apparently, and Poch is making little cheeky jokes about you will see who starts tomorrow. But like, if we're being honest, we need Petrovic to be starting. For me, Petrovic is really the number one goalkeeper for us right now. In my personal opinion, he's the one that I believe in right now as well. Now, obviously speaking on him, the next guy I think we need to obviously talk about who's coming back. Obviously Jalaba's back, as we know, of course. Sadly, Chukwuemeka is back to the healing phase apparently. He's back in the medical bay. I don't know what's going on with Chukwuemeka, honestly. He's been playing limited minutes. I'm not sure if his health is fully back or anything of the sort, so it's kind of annoying honestly, every time that we see something like this happening, that he's always injured. So hopefully, there's something that can, be done to fix that situation up quite well. In terms of other players coming back, no one else is coming back currently from injury. All we know is that Kukure is back to individual training, so he'll probably be back in the next 2 weeks. But obviously, as you guys know, next week is the week of the final against Liverpool. So I don't think there's anyone else coming back in time for that one, in that sort of thing. Now, in terms of injuries and everything like that, obviously you spoke about Reece James still out, Fofana still out. Who else is out that I'm forgetting? Badiashile out of a groin injury. Thiago Silva's not going to be available for this game either. So Levi Colwill will be back apparently. He's fit enough. The injury wasn't too much of a bad thing for him, which is kind of good news because we need a left-sided centre-back right now. Obviously, with no Thiago Silva and no Badiashile, so we need him there for sure, which is good news. Now, in terms of the squad that I expect us to face with, I don't think, again, Sterling will be getting a spot. I'll just be honest with the Mandem. He's not looking good for him. I know, obviously, people have seen the reports about Bowley apparently in the previous season coming into the locker room and apparently cussing him out straight. And, it has given me a poise for thought. I know this obviously is a preview, but someone was saying to me the other day that, what if, like, obviously the first summer they were buying these old players, experienced players and all that stuff. What if, the experience that the ownership has had with a lot of these older and experienced players has kind of put them off to a lot of these guys in terms of the performance they're giving and everything like that. And for me, I could see that being the case, particularly with these fresh new owners, and them seeing what these players are doing, and the fact that they're performing to a similar level to young guys that they're getting in who are only on 100k, 90k, or 110k a week. Maybe they just felt, maybe there's no point of buying these experienced players if we can just get these young guys who are already doing it at that level of the production that they're giving at that age. And you know what? Listen, we can at least train these guys to become even better, and they can upgrade if they, match their potential and stuff. So maybe that's something, of course, to think about, really. I didn't really, think of it like that, particularly after I saw that tweet in regards to Sterling. And apparently the fact that there was an offer for him from Saudi Arabia in the summer, which I had spoken about previously, I was like, there must be a Saudi deal waiting for him. And the fact that there was a Saudi deal waiting for him and he didn't take it in the summer means to me more than likely this upcoming summer, Sterling is leaving the club and is going to be sold. So it's obviously interesting times for him, but I do believe he will not be starting. In my opinion, the lineup will be very similar to the lineup that we had against Crystal Palace. I think there's pretty much one change, and that will be Levi Colwill in for Thiago Silva. So that team obviously was Petrovic in goal, Malo Gusto and Chilwell are your fullbacks. You will have Levi Colwill and Disasi as your centre backs. You will then have the two of Enzo Caicedo, Gallagher in the 10. You will then have a 3 of Jackson on the left, Palmer in the false 9, and of course on the right hand side will be Noni Madueke. So that's probably what we're expecting at the end of the day. In terms of us, we have to really be coming in the energy that we had in the second half against Crystal Palace and in the game against Aston Villa. We need to have that same energy if you want to get anywhere, if you want to really win that game and get ourselves some level of production to at least get a point. I think we can get a point if we play our cards right, if we play to a similar level that we played against them in our previous meeting back in early November, if I'm not mistaken. So we need to, bring that same level of heat. If we can do that, then yes. But obviously, I know this is a Man City team that is trying to get that point. So it's going to be a very, very competitive game from both sides at the end of the day. So, and we just need to be able to do a good job against them. So, in my opinion, I think this game is going to be a very high-scoring game. It's been like that for Chelsea for a bit. And I think we're probably going to be looking at around about 3-1, I would say 3-3 or 2-2 in my opinion. I would say 2-2 draw in my personal opinion. That's what I'm thinking of. That's going to be taking place in this game in my personal opinion. But hey ho, man, you guys may think differently. I know that a lot of people are thinking that we might get a loss. I think we can get a draw in this game. If you play our cards right, if you play it right, of course. I know obviously we lost to Liverpool, but that was really just an embarrassing performance all round. But I do think against the bigger teams, we usually try to play a lot better football and try to be as good as we can be. And let's hope we do so. And let's hope Poch is gonna set us up correctly, which is the the main thing. We can hopefully the players bring their A game and bring the performance that we need to do, and the setup is right enough for us to be able to beat and attack that team to the best that we can do. But hey ho, guys, as usual, I've been your host, the most, the British 258. Dedicate your hearts, And listen, that's the review for today. Obviously, you get the review. Sorry, I should say you should get the review straight after the game, like 20-30 minutes later. Obviously, I have to render the video, try to give it to you in as best possible thing as possible. But make sure to like, share, subscribe, please. Like, share, subscribe, and have a nice one. Boom.